Ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs and investors, advisors and mentors, students and alumni, and other friends of Georgetown, welcome to the Georgetown Startup Accelerator Demo Day. So my name is Jeff Reed. I'm the founding director of Georgetown Entrepreneurship. And our program, we believe that entrepreneurship may be the most powerful force for positive social change. Entrepreneurs are solving problems and creating value all over the world. We seek to instill an entrepreneurial mindset in all Georgetown students. We actively support the growth of alumni-led ventures, and we are happy to leverage the power of entrepreneurship to impact our world beyond Georgetown. So today's program really does celebrate and support our alumni entrepreneurs. Joining me today and hosting the event are going to be three amazing people. Callie Jacobs is the manager of our Georgetown Venture Lab, and she and Howard Eisenberg have been working for months putting together this accelerator. Howard is one of our entrepreneurs in residence and co-director of the accelerator. And our hostess for most of the event is going to be Lauren Jordan. Lauren is a current MBA student and the founder of Community Experiments, which is a great startup. It's a social enterprise using the arts to improve mental health in Black communities. Lauren has also been helpful with our Venture Lab activities over the last several months. So with that, we're going to move into the next step of our program today. We have an amazing Georgetown alum and entrepreneur who's going to share some words of wisdom with our audience today. I'm proud to introduce the chairman of our Entrepreneurship Advisory Board for Georgetown University, the chairman and CEO of Monumental Sports and Entertainment, wonderful Georgetown alum and entrepreneur, and someone who has really helped us build entrepreneurship programs for Georgetown University. With that, I'm happy to turn it over to Ted Leonsis. Over to you, Ted.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Jeff. And it's great to see everybody. I know I addressed the entrepreneurs as the session was starting, and it's great to see everyone circle back and complete this. I want to remind everybody that we talked about the pandemic and how there was no excuses, that some of the greatest companies were founded during times of stress in the economy and society. We identified Netflix and Airbnb and Warby Parker, even Disney, which was founded during the Depression. And I talked to you about some specific companies in my portfolio, one being DraftKings, where there was no sports being played, and DraftKings basically entered the sports betting market and now has a $25 billion market cap. Also invested and worked with a company that was created literally a couple of months ago and announced today a $300 million round of funding called Dapper Labs. And they do NBA Top Shots. They did about $500 million of revenue in their first month of existence, and today announced a major fundraising. And as you can see, just grit, determination, being able to not be afraid, to be able to navigate around and find what's best for the customers seems to work and seems to be accelerated during a time when everyone else is focused on something else. So I couldn't be more proud of what Georgetown has been creating and moving towards, this entrepreneurial DNA in every part of the organization, every part of every department in the school, and also looking for students and defining being an entrepreneur, not just as starting a company, but bring a new way of thinking, aggressive way to inculcate change, be it religion, be it politics. All of that is now what Georgetown will be standing for. And I thought it was really, really important that we invite and have the co-founder of Sweetgreen, Jonathan Neman, who probably just came out of the surf. He's been spending a lot of time working really, really hard, but he's found his love in the ocean and in surfing. And why I think Jonathan is such a emblematic and iconic entrepreneur for us, and we're proud investors in the company at Revolution, is that he's a Georgetown grad, started his first business on the campus of Georgetown. I did too in my snow cone business. And he's been very, very focused on doing the right things in the right way, building an unbelievably strong core business, great business, not focused on the exit, not falling into all of the noise about how is the company doing and what kind of dollars will be returned, more focused on health, wellness, making sure that his products and services are on trend and in service to a very, very large and growing customer base. And so I've admired what the founders have done. I've really watched Jonathan grow as a great, great CEO. And we should all be proud of what Georgetown has created. And we most especially should be proud of what Jonathan and Sweetgreen have done. So you've heard me talk too much, and I wanted to shed some time so that we can get more words of wisdom from Jonathan. So Jonathan, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Ted, thank you. Jeff, thank you as well. Thank you for having me. I unfortunately did not get in the water this morning. I wish I did. But good to be here with all of you. And I love this program and the fact that we're creating this fertile ground for entrepreneurs to really cultivate ideas and values to build the future. And so just a few thoughts for me. As Ted mentioned, I went to Georgetown, and Sweetgreen was very much a product of our experience at Georgetown. It was the combination of, quite honestly, a terrible food situation, but also the education and the values that we learned while there. And there was one value, a Jesuit value, of being in service to both business and society. And that has been the core of both my personal purpose as well as the company's purpose. We, at Sweetgreen, we call it win-win-win. Some people call it conscious capitalism, but it's this idea of doing good and doing well at the same time, of creating the virtuous cycle of doing things that are great for the world that also make money. And I think it's very important to find that intersection of both being great and having a positive impact, and being capitalist and looking to build value at that same time. And so much of what we learned at Georgetown was part of that. So I'm excited for you all to embark on your entrepreneurial journeys. I wanted, a few pieces of advice as you do. One, I want to double down a little bit on what Ted said in terms of the opportunity there is right now. And I always think that the greatest opportunities happen when there's the greatest change. Obviously, this past year has radically changed the world and accelerated so much from a consumer and technology perspective. At the same time, you have so many technologies that are accelerating and changing the way people live every day. And if you think about so many of the greatest companies, these companies are ideas that were always there, but all of a sudden become possible with a sea change in whether it's a generational change or a technological change. And so I think there's just never been more opportunity than there is today to create some amazing businesses. In a way, I'm actually jealous of you all for all of the opportunity there is. The second I want to talk about is this idea that I've always had, which is what I call a first principles approach. How, when you coming up with a business, at Sweetgreen, I'll give you an example. We had an idea and a vision for an experience around eating healthy and sustainable food. In order to bring that vision to life, we actually were lucky. We knew nothing about restaurants. So instead of going and doing what every other restaurant did, we designed an experience from scratch the way we thought it should be. And by having that naivete and taking this first principles approach, we did things that people would never do and would think at the time were crazy. Things like building a local supply chain for all of our food. Things from building technology natively into every part of our operation. This idea even of bringing healthy food and bringing it to the mainstream and trying to make it craveable, approachable, accessible, and cool, all things that we were told were crazy at the time. So how do you take a first principles approach in designing whatever experience you're looking to experience or product you're looking to do? And then I think people ask me a lot, like, if what's the advice you'd give to your younger self? And for me, I think that or another way of saying, what is the most important trait of an entrepreneur? And it's very clear for me, it's resilience and grit. I tell people all the time, I'm no smarter than the next person. I just don't give up. And all the entrepreneurs I know, there's a few that are lucky, but most of them have that insane resilience. And if you look at the chart of any successful company, Sweetgreen included, you can hear the story of, started in the dorm room and then, today multi-billion-dollar company. But what you don't see is the messy middle, the ups and downs that happen every day. The first winter Sweetgreen had, where we didn't have enough money for payroll and literally almost had to shut our doors. The times where many times where we almost run out of money. And even till today, there's many days where I feel like we're dancing on the pin of bankruptcy and world domination. And I don't think that ever goes away, that paranoia. And so grit and resilience, I'd say, is the most important value. You're going to have insane setbacks. You're going to lose a lot. The question is how you'll get back up and how you'll learn from those mistakes to take the next step forward. So I wish you all the best and in your next chapter. And I'm happy to turn it back to Howard Eisenberg, one of Georgetown's entrepreneurs in residence, to keep the program moving along.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jonathan. And thank you, Ted. You're certainly both inspirational for us all. And those words on resilience and grit are words that every entrepreneur I know live with every day. So we appreciate your being here today. Thank you. I now want to share with everybody a bit about the Georgetown Startup Accelerator, or the GSA. The GSA is a 9-week virtual program exclusively for Georgetown University alumni. 18 founders and 12 companies participated in the inaugural accelerator, which culminates today. It's a fantastic group of proud Hoyas that all represent Georgetown exceptionally well. Makes us all proud. I hope that you're getting excited to see their pitches today. I'm excited to share them with you. The format of the GSA program took advantage of having to go virtual. This gave us the opportunity to reach more Hoyas in the network of entrepreneurs, with more than 2/3 of our cohort not located in or near DC. The goal of the GSA is to accelerate early stage startup companies to help them reach their goals faster. To accomplish this, the program was set up with 4 elements in mind. Number 1 was a strong cohort of founders, creating a community of peers to go through the process together, to make lifelong connections and help continue the tradition of Hoyas helping Hoyas. Number 2 was mentors. Each company was paired with a mentor. Experienced in their field, these mentors coached the companies through the process these past 9 weeks. More on mentors in a second. The third was workshops. Each week, the founders participated in a workshop where they took a deep dive into a relevant subject that'll help the founders succeed as they start and grow their companies. 20 different speakers shared their experience with the founders on a wide range of subjects. I know I speak for Callie and all the founders with a special thank you to the speakers for sharing their experience, their time, and their enthusiasm with the GSA. Examples in the workshops included effective communication, time management, sales, growing and managing your team, and working with investors. Finally, community. Community is a really important component of the entrepreneurial success. Besides this demo day event, which we're thankful for all of you for taking time out of your busy day to attend, We've made many introductions to industry experts that have shared experiences and lessons learned with our startup founders. I mentioned the experienced mentors that were an integral part of the success of the accelerator. Several of our founders have listed spending time with their mentor as the biggest benefit coming out of the accelerator. That's a credit to the women and men shown in this slide. They dedicated a minimum of 1 hour per week in one-on-one sessions with the founders. Our mentors are very generous. Frankly, many of them gave much more time than that. We're incredibly grateful for the extra effort made by this group for the benefit of our founders. Thank you, mentors. Also key to the success, as part of the entrepreneurial community, were our business partners. Each of these companies volunteered time and resources to share their particular expertise with our founders. Workshops, discounted rates, free consultation are just a few of the ways that these partners help out the GSA founders. Now, the real reason you're here is to meet the founders. I am very excited for the next step of our program today. I'm going to hand the stage over to Lauren Jordan, who will introduce each of the founders so that they can share with you a brief glimpse into their company. Over to you, Lauren.
Hello, everyone. Are you excited to see some awesome Hoya ventures? I know that I am. So let's go ahead and jump into it. To start us off, I'd like to introduce Kamar Mack, co-founder and CEO, and Adrian Abrams, co-founder and CMO of Appdrop. Kamar and Adrian are both graduates of the college in 2019 and 2018, respectively.
I have a great app idea, but I don't know how to code. Steph, and chances are you'll hear a ton of students that have had this very pain point crush their dreams. My name is Adrian, this is Kamar, and we're the founders of Appdrop, a suite of no-code software that helps non-technical students build their mobile apps. For many college students, they'll face the age-old challenge of having a great app idea, but not necessarily being able to bring it to life. And for the students that do want to build their mobile apps, they have 3 options at their disposal. They could go the time-intensive route of learning coding themselves, the expensive route of hiring a mobile app development agency, or just the downright confusing route of using existing no-code app builders that were designed for established businesses and not student teams. Because there are no viable solutions uniquely tailored towards student use cases, this is an overlooked $2 billion market opportunity. That is, until now. Appdrop is a suite of no-code software that empowers non-technical student teams to build their mobile apps and unlock their wildest dreams in the process. Our browser-based tool provides teams a collaborative team dashboard, a graphic design studio to modify their use case and brand, and cross-platform publishing to both the iOS and Google Play Store. Not only is it fast and cost-effective, it's a one-stop shop for all the educational materials students need to build the next viral app. Appdrop was launched in December of 2020. How do we do?
While our software is pre-revenue, we've netted $48,000 in customer payments against $0 in advertising. These students have trusted us to build their mobile apps, and we've been able to work in tandem with them to ensure that our software is perfect for student teams. And while we're excited because we found a unique niche for our company to drive value, we're even more excited by how we're doing it. So what do we have that our competitors don't have? We discovered the best way to reach the collegiate and recent grad market was to position our service as an educational experience. Appdrop University is our flagship learning curriculum designed to give students the resources necessary not only to build their mobile apps, but also to distribute the app successfully and scale their ventures. As a result, our student teams view us as trusted advisors, as opposed to traditional mobile app developers just trying to reach a quota. Our distribution strategy of going directly to students has been profitable so far. However, to really empower non-technical students at scale, we are positioning Appdrop as a classroom tool that can be licensed at the university level and made available to cohorts of students. We've received a 75% positive response rate from universities in the greater DC, Maryland, and Virginia region who have interest in licensing our software. Partnering with universities will help us revolutionize how we teach mobile app development, and Appdrop will become the underlying technology behind some of the next viral app sensations. Adrian and I met at Georgetown and have been working on several projects together throughout the years. I'm the technical brains behind our operation, largely bolstered by my experience from Wolfram. Adrian is spearheading our sales and marketing efforts, drawing on his experience from Google in their digital marketing and strategy division. Jacqueline is our investor and board member and is well connected in the VC and angel community in the San Francisco Bay Area. We've also brought on 2 student interns to help meet the growing customer demand and give us effective insight into how we can breach into the university beachhead market. If you want to talk about our university distribution or next round of fundraising, find us in one of the breakout rooms after demo day. Thanks.
Wow. So as a person who always has a lot of ideas, but also has 0 coding skills, I can totally see myself using Appdrop. So let me find out about that university distribution, Georgetown. Next up, we have content rooms. Chris is the CEO of Content Rooms and is a 2017 graduate of the college. Take it away, Content Rooms.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Hey, you! Yeah, I'm talking to you. It's Pop.
Shh. Good morning, Jake Ballers. What's going on?
Look here, folks. Media has transformed in the past few years. There are more creators now than ever before, and fans want to be as close to them as humanly possible. Content Rooms is here to make that happen. We are going to change the way people think about creators. The opportunity lies in the creator economy. New media creators need to monetize smaller, more specialized fan bases in order to grow. And something interesting has happened. It's that engagement has become just as valuable as content, but there is no efficient way for creators to interact with their audience. And another problem that I think everyone has dealt with is that genuine connections are hard to make on the internet. The solution is a platform that enables real-time communication around creators and their content. Content Rooms will minimize the effort required for creators to sell exclusive content and communicate directly with their audience. If we can do that, we'll allow fans and creators to meet each other spontaneously. And ultimately, our goal is to build connected communities through shared experiences that are only possible on this platform. So what does something like this look like? Imagine you're scrolling your favorite social media app, be it TikTok or YouTube or anything else, and one of the creators says, "Join my content room, where I'll be hanging out with all of you. Link in bio." So you click the link and it takes you to Content Rooms. Here we can see that Emma has teamed up with Justin, and they're offering a subscription for $10 a month. So you decide, all right, I'll subscribe. And you get access to awesome, never-before-seen content. And in the comment section, you can interact with other people like you, kind of like Reddit. And one of the key differentiators is this. Once you've run out of content to watch, you can turn off your phone. Creators will just call you. On Content Rooms, creators have the ability to start real-time conversations with individual subscribers, groups of subscribers, or even all of their subscribers at once. This is the way creators get to meet their fans in a casual, effortless way. And being on the same call will allow fans to spontaneously meet each other. Our business model is perfect for upcoming creators because we've always had collaboration at the top of mind. We make it possible so that multiple creators can be on one subscription or in one event. This takes the pressure off of any one creator to constantly be pushing out content. And when it's time for the creators to cash out, we have built-in tools to transparently divide revenue. So the only question is, why do we need this now? It's because fandom is becoming more like friendship. Studies show that 40% of millennials who subscribe to YouTube channels say their favorite creators understand them better than their friends. That's a staggering statistic, especially when you consider over half of Generation Z chose YouTuber as their most desired career path. These future creators will have a stronger attachment to their fan bases than anything we've seen, and we're targeting them for our platform. I want to help this new class of creator monetize their fan base in a positive way. By the way, I'm Chris, and I want to help connect fan bases with each other. If you're interested to hear more, join me in my Zoom room. All right, I'm leaving.
All right, content rooms. So, quick tangent. Most people don't know this about me, but when I'm not busy being a student, I actually do improv with the Washington Improv Theater on a team called I Don't Know Her. So, we do a lot of video content. And so I think I'm going to definitely be reaching out via the contact information that's in the chat, or I'll be joining the breakout room later on today. Next up, we have Globally Unified Air Quality, which is led by Anna Giaquinto and Neil Single. Anna, Chief Executive Officer, and Neil, Chief Financial Officer, both are on track to complete their business degrees in 2021 and 2022. Let's go ahead and see what you got, Anna and Neil.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anna. I'm here with Neil. We are co-founders of Globally Unified Air Quality, or GUAC for short. Air pollution is one of the world's leading environmental disasters. It causes approximately 7 million deaths per year. And for us, this issue is personal. Neil's family is from New Delhi, one of the most polluted cities in the world, where the risk of having a stroke is elevated 150%. And I grew up across the river from a coal plant, where it resulted in higher cancer levels in my area compared to the rest of the state. Without access to air quality monitoring data, my community had no idea how bad our air really was. And this is too common of a problem everywhere. Taking a look at the map, you can see the clear lack of air quality monitors all across the world, which is one of the biggest challenges in mitigating air pollution. The world's largest air quality data set only covers 15% of the world's population. We don't know how polluted the air really is and the extent to how it's affecting our health. However, information is power. With an understanding of the air they are breathing, individuals can make informed decisions in their daily life to limit their exposure. For example, a parent knowing when and where their child is safe to play outside, a school administrator knowing the best time to have recess, or someone looking to exercise outdoors or commute to work, knowing the ideal time and route to do so. So GUAC has created an ecosystem to make air quality monitoring more affordable, accessible, and adaptable to all regions around the world. Governments, municipalities, schools, and enterprises purchase our patent-pending monitor to empower their constituents and measure a variety of different pollutants that are harmful to the environment and human life. Individuals then have free access to our mobile application where they can visualize these pollutants as well as get recommendations for how to limit their exposure. We also offer curated reports to organizations purchasing our device. We conduct analyses like identifying trends, hotspots, and spikes during certain times during the day to provide recommendations for mitigating air pollution and limiting exposure at a larger level.
Now, to go into our competitive advantage, there's 4 main aspects we want to highlight after understanding the lack of monitoring throughout the world, as well as the inability to monitor in developing countries. For these reasons, we developed a low-cost device that has a patent-pending design allowing you to customize it before and after it's shipped. We also utilize innovation after extensive market research, understanding that air quality monitors often lose data if a connection is not present. We utilize a data caching algorithm in order to ensure that air quality monitoring data is never lost. And furthermore, with our commitment to developing regions, we understand that we needed alternatives to both Wi-Fi as well as fixed power sources for increased portability, as well as monitoring in remote locations. We're currently looking to raise a pre-seed round of $200,000 that will allow us to achieve several of our milestones, including a deployment in Lagos, Nigeria, as well as additional World Bank contracts and regulatory pilot programs. After speaking at the Disruptive Technologies Conference earlier this month, we finalized an initial deployment in Lagos within a few days and additional SaaS opportunities for data and device access throughout World Bank partner countries. We're utilizing these funds for hardware fulfillment, as well as our payroll and access to web services. Thank you, and we look forward to answering all of your questions and meeting you in the breakout room.
Wow, great job. I know I'm a pretty big fan of breathing clean air. Maybe you all are also big fans of breathing clean air. And so I'm a big fan of anything that's making sure that that's actually accessible for all of us. It's a nice job, team. Partners in business and life, HiRx is led by Russell Barr and Kay Makabag. Russell graduated with his MBA in 2020, and Kay completed her nursing studies at the University of San Thomas in the Philippines. Take it away, HiRx.
Hello. Hello, I'm Russell Barr.
And I'm Kay Makabag.
And we co-founded HiRx, a logistics platform connecting patients in need of routine medical care with medical professionals who are able to provide it. HiRx is built primarily for 3 unique but interconnected market segments, each of whom experience different problems. Physicians often lack access to results ahead of an appointment, leading to fragmented care. They're unable to offer off-site care to remedy this problem. Patients are inconvenienced by even the most routine medical care, like blood draws and COVID swabs, and it's even worse with patients with chronic conditions. Medical professionals like RNs, CNAs, LPNs, and phlebotomists are often looking for extra income, but these jobs require burdensome commitments. To solve all of these problems at once, HiRx allows patients to schedule a routine medical care at a time and place of their choosing by connecting them with medical professionals who are qualified to provide that care.
HiRx is so easy. You can do it anytime, like right now. Hi, Cece. Hi. First, we get a request from the physician or directly from the patient themselves. Once the required information is collected, we find a medical professional in our network that matches the patient's needs and preferences. The medical professional arrives at the time and place of the patient's choosing, performs the service, and when samples are collected, delivers them to the laboratory of the patient or the physician's choosing. The doctor receives the results the same way they normally would without interrupting the routine process. Is that easy for everybody? This process is built to add value to each of our 3 markets. For our patients, we offer safety and convenience. Stop interrupting your day for routine care. For physicians, we offer the ability to deliver home care and streamline patient care. Medical professionals, we empower you to make money on your own schedule. And this hits home to me personally because I have 5 years of industry experience in healthcare, and I saw a problem worth solving. I know firsthand that patients can really benefit from service like HiRx, but for a 2-sided marketplace to work, both sides need to exist. And I know from experience that they do.
And as a student of Lean Startup methodology, when Kay presented this idea, I said, let's prove it. And so that's what we did. But before we jumped into the MVP, we did a little market research and unearthed a few extremely important trends. One of the most important trends in healthcare is the increased adoption of telehealth. But what is the use of telehealth if patients don't have to go to the laboratory? Simultaneously, more primary care physicians are becoming concierge physicians, doctors that charge a premium for 24/7 care. As competition increases, HiRx can help concierge doctors offer premium care. But we also believe this opportunity is much bigger than concierge medicine. HiRx can streamline patient care for any specialization, and our goal is to be able to service all routine medical care in every specialty. With the MVP, we believe we have shown strong enthusiasm from each of our key markets as a solution to their problems. By creating a unified platform to connect each group, we believe we're improving healthcare experience for everyone. Next, we developed an MVP. We combed our network and established a pilot program with 1 concierge doctor. And by planting the seed, we have serviced over 110 unique patients, 22 unique doctors, and have demonstrated willingness to pay and kept the lights on by generating $30,000 in revenue. Just as importantly, enthusiasm from our medical professionals has been nothing short of overwhelming. We're seeking a very unique sort of partner for us to roll out, to share our early business and help roll out version 1. Someone who can simultaneously open industry doors while helping to devise a strategy to raise and deploy funds in a meaningful way. If we can find the right partnership, we'll be able to capitalize on HiRx's early traction and build the infrastructure to support this growing business. Please join us in our breakout session so we can answer any additional questions and provide more detail about how we expect to grow. Thanks, and we look forward to meeting you.
As a caregiver for 2 of my grandparents during this pandemic, I'm incredibly grateful for anything that makes healthcare more accessible and more convenient. So thank you, Home-Based Spirits. Thank you, HireX, sorry. California Grown Home-Based Spirits is co-founded by a pair of twin sisters, Samantha and Allie. Samantha graduated from the School of Foreign Service in 2008, while Allie completed her studies at Boston University. Take it away, Home-Based Spirits.
Hi, I'm Allie, and this is my twin sister, Samantha. Together, we make Home-Based Spirits. As a whiskey enthusiast, artist, and curious person, I craved information about the spirits I loved. Where were they made? Who made them? How? When I went to bars and joined whiskey clubs to learn more, I wasn't taken seriously.
And my background is working with farmers to sell seasonal products. I got to learn firsthand how much people want to support their local communities, economies, and the environment by buying local. Why is this attention paid to food but not spirits? Vineyards and farm-to-table restaurants take advantage of California's agricultural resources. Why aren't spirit producers doing the same? We learned that 92% of the spirits on the market are made by just a handful of companies. These spirit producers do not have to disclose their ingredients or where the spirits are made, and they use tricky packaging to mislead customers into thinking they are buying an independent brand. Also, 40% of whiskey drinkers are women, yet we don't see ourselves in these brands' marketing. We're not surprised. Fewer than 10% of distilleries are owned or operated by women, and the dominant marketing tells us that whiskey is a time-honored, trade secret, great-grandfathered tradition made for and consumed by men.
This isn't true. Californians deserve a better option. We started Home-Based to make delicious spirits approachable by being transparent and environmentally friendly. We invite people to connect with their spirits by celebrating the ecologically farmed ingredients used to make our spirits from scratch, creating uniquely Californian flavor profiles for our products, designing fresh, exciting, and approachable packaging, and being inclusive and welcoming in our messaging.
Our approach resonates. Californians love our spirits. Home-based sales have grown an average of 37% each year since going to market in 2017. During the pandemic, our sales grew 6% despite losing half of our accounts due to bar and restaurant closures. We have an 80% retention rate with our retail accounts, and we're on track to nearly double our revenue in 2021.
But we can do so much more. We want our community to have the fun and educational experience drinking spirits that we wish had been available to us. We plan to build a community-centered distillery and tasting room in the Bay Area that will be a destination for locals and tourists alike. Visitors will get to engage with a full line of home-based spirits through tours, tastings, events, workshops, and memberships. Visitors will get an interactive retail experience to buy local, sustainable spirits directly from the distillery.
This also makes great business sense. Craft spirits are a $6.1 billion market and growing. On average, 47% of bottle sales at small craft distilleries are direct to consumer. This positions Home-Based to quadruple its revenue by recuperating margins from the distribution and retail markups, expanding wholesale, and adding new revenue streams from visitor experiences and distillery services. Home-Based will be one of the few distilleries with a full bar, tasting room, and distillery experiences for the Bay Area's 7.7 million residents and millions of tourists each year.
But we need your help to build this. We are seeking $500,000 to increase our current production and embark on a 2-year build-out of the distillery and tasting room. Please pour yourself a glass of whiskey and join us in our breakout room so we can share more about the investment tiers and opportunities available. Cheers!
Well, I still have class today, so I won't be toasting up, but please do sign me up. Awesome job, Home-Based Spirits. Julian Davis and Rostam Reichschneider are the co-founders of Hydrova. Julian graduated from the business school in 2020, while Rostam is completing his studies at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. All right, let's see it, Hydrova.
Hi, my name is Julian Davis, and I'm joined by my co-founder, Rostam Reifschneider. We are extremely excited to present Hydrova, an opportunity to fight climate change with green hydrogen. Hydrogen is one of the most promising technologies in clean energy today, with emerging applications like fuel cell vehicles. The hydrogen industry is already worth $24 billion and is expected to grow to $45 billion in 2030. The problem is that 98% of hydrogen today actually comes from fossil fuels in a highly carbon emitting process. Alternatively, there is a method called electrolysis that can produce hydrogen cleanly, but at 3 to 5 times the cost. The hydrogen industry thus faces a trade-off between cheap, dirty hydrogen and clean, expensive hydrogen.
At Hydrova, we've developed a novel, low-cost, and clean method for producing hydrogen using two of the most abundant and renewable materials on the planet, aluminum and water. Hydrova is highly scalable since, unlike electrolysis, it requires no direct input energy. Our method is zero emissions, preventing 9 tons of CO2 for every ton of hydrogen we produce. And our hydrogen production cost is 1/3 the cost of electrolysis, directly competing with fossil fuels hydrogen. The value of our tech lies in producing hydrogen on-site and on demand for low volume users. We solve the costly and complicated problem of transporting hydrogen by instead transporting aluminum fuel. Just 1 truckload of Hydrova's aluminum fuel produces 10 truckloads worth of hydrogen. After conducting 25 customer discovery interviews, we've identified product market fit in hydrogen forklifts. Our initial market is worth $30 million and is growing at 30% year over year, and we have advisors with veteran experience in the industry. After gaining a foothold in the forklift industry, we could expand to serve similar low volume customers who consume $1.2 billion worth of hydrogen every year. The total addressable market for hydrogen in the US is $24 billion and is expected to nearly double by 2030, reaching $45 billion. Hydrova has proven the concept in the lab with a prototype actively producing hydrogen. And we've received validation and input from industry experts such as Air Products, Air Liquide, First Element Fuels, and Plug Power. To protect our competitive advantage, we've filed 2 provisional patents on our method.
Producing hydrogen from aluminum and water has been researched and proven by various institutions. One company, Trollysis, attempted to commercialize the technology in 2019, but was acquired and quashed before going to market. The push towards green hydrogen makes now the time to commercialize this technology. Our team is the right team for the job, with backgrounds in mechanical engineering from MIT, physics from Georgetown, technical advisors with engineering PhDs, and strategic advisors with close ties to our initial market of hydrogen forklifts. In a few months, we will be raising our seed round to hire our first engineers and secure pilot projects with forklift users. We are seeking investors who align with our climate mission and want to get in on the ground floor of the green hydrogen economy. Together, we can make a massive impact on climate change. Thank you for listening, and we hope you join us in our breakout room to learn more.
One of my favorite parts of pitch competitions is the amount that I learned in a short period of time. In Hydrova, I just learned so much. Awesome job. All right, everyone, we're at the midpoint of our pitches, so let's keep going and see what else we have. Next up, we have Joint Homes. Joint Homes co-founders Mel and Rich met while attending the McDonough School of Business, where they graduated in 2017 with their MBAs. Take it away, Joint Homes.
Hi, I'm Rich Alverson, co-founder and CEO of Joint, the first national housing as a service platform, putting the comfort and security of home within easy reach for military service members and their families. My co-founder Mel Levy and I created Joint because military service requires sacrifice, but not in the way you're thinking. Most of the sacrifices service members make have nothing to do with combat. They're not on some distant battlefield, they're right here at home. They face all the common challenges of building a life, career, and family, only they have the added burden of deployments and mandatory moves, forcing them to tear it up and start fresh every 2 or 3 years. They make it work to some degree. They scour listing sites and find an apartment in a city they've never seen. Sometimes they buy, but you can't win on equity selling after 2 years. They end up disconnected from their families and communities, and they're stuck paying billions in out-of-pocket costs just to show up and do their job. No wonder half of us have less than $5,000 in savings when we get out, and financial stability is the #1 concern for families in our community, impacting them long after they get out of the military. Mel and I lived this. We made 16 military moves between us, lived on couches, slept on floors, our stuff scattered all over the world. At one point I lost most of what I owned in a storage unit when their autopay broke, and I was unreachable somewhere in the Sulu archipelago rescuing hostages and taking down a terrorist group. The stories are endless, but these are the common challenges in the uncommon lives we live. The center of gravity connecting all these issues is the home, so that's what we set out to conquer, just like they trained us to do. Joint offers tailored rental housing with integrated services on a modern platform, so these individuals and families can live well and serve better. Here's how it works. They get orders and they go to our app from anywhere in the world to easily find and secure a home that's actually tailored to their needs, which is a bigger challenge than you'd expect. Some folks are literally finding homes and moving while sitting in a rock. With just a few clicks, they set up all the amenities they need to be at home in their new joint the day they arrive, with concierge support every step of the way, saving months of stress and effort just trying to get settled and established in their new community. They see and manage everything for their home on one dashboard with a single monthly payment that's equal to or less than what they're paying today, making it easier to find stability and care for their families throughout their career. And that is the magic. By meeting their needs over time and distance, we forge a relationship, align our interests, and create new value through lower cost and more efficient operations. Value which we pass on to them through our shared value program using our patent pending technology. With every payment, our members earn between 5 and 20% of their payment back in shared value stakes that are tied to our portfolio, so they can build wealth like a homeowner. This is the most highly defined segment in the country, yet nobody has ever attempted to address their needs holistically until now, which gives us an unfair advantage to capture the $28 billion they spend on housing and relocation each year. Building to serve the military is an advantage if you know them intimately like we do. Mel and I are graduates of West Point and the Naval Academy who served a combined 25 years in the Army and Navy with 6 deployments and 5 Bronze Stars between us. We met 6 years ago in the Georgetown MBA program, and since then I've been leading marketing and operations at fintech firms, and he worked in M&A before running investments at a startup, where we worked together and raised $55 million to back loans to veteran-owned businesses. We know this community and understand their needs, and we have experience growing startups from concept through Series C. Today we're leveraging every bit of our military and startup experience to build Joint and solve this problem. Just this month, we launched our invite-only beta in 2 of our 5 initial markets with our first 2 properties. Our initial feedback in surveys and interviews is remarkable. As one person put it, "I've never seen anything like this. I love it. It's like you're the first ones on the moon." If you're interested in supporting our mission, there are 2 ways you can help. The first is connections. If you or someone you know is active in real estate, prop tech, or home services, we'd love to connect. The second is investment. We're opening a pre-seed round within the next 2 months and are scheduling calls with potential investors starting in April. Military service requires sacrifice, but we can ease the burden. We hope you'll reach out and join us on our mission to help our members and their families to live well and serve better. Thank you.
Nice job, Joint Homes. Housing may seem like something simple or even a given for a lot of us, but I'm glad that you all are working to make sure that housing is accessible. Next, we have Little Red Box Grocery, making an impact in Galveston, Texas. Little Red Box Grocery is led by Sam Neman, who has an MBA from the McDonough School of Business, where he graduated in 2008. All right, take it away.
Hey everyone, my name is Sam Neman and I'm coming to you today from sunny Galveston, Texas. First off, I'd like to thank the Georgetown Startup Accelerator, in particular Howard, Callie, Jeff, and my mentor Laura for affording me this remarkable opportunity to talk about our organization, Little Red Box. We're a small format retailer and we are building a replicable, scalable model to democratize access to good food for the millions of Americans living in food deserts. These are predominantly low-income areas that are more than a mile away from the nearest full-service grocery store. We operate as part corner store, which really focuses more on healthy and relevant items, part meal kit solutions, which helps out time-starved families, and part online ordering and curbside pickup, really with a focus on convenience. All of this is facilitated by tech and grounded in community engagement. So why did we start this? Well, for years, food deserts have been an unshakable pebble in my shoe. What I wanted to know is, why is it that I can draw a 1.5 mile ring around my house and hit 7 full-service grocery stores, yet for so many people in this country, the simple act of shopping is a trade-off. It's a trade-off between convenience, cost, and choice. And so the question that I've struggled with is not, why do food deserts exist, but rather, do they even have to exist at all? It's not for lack of a market. Close to 40 million Americans, including 5 million Texans, live in one. And as I've seen through my work in food over the past decade, desire for good food is a common feature, regardless of zip code. It's not demand that's missing, it's supply. The traditional access points all fall somewhere on the grid of inaccessible or unaffordable. And while that's not okay simply from a social equity standpoint, it does provide a real market opportunity for someone to bring a solution that is sized, stocked, and operated affordably, and that can alleviate some of the pain points that so many families have to overcome. So we started something to do just that. In March 2020, we received seed funding that enabled us to launch a pilot store in the North Broadway community of Galveston. This is an area that is severely neglected in terms of commercial activity, and there is not a grocery store within 3 miles of where I stand. We were taking orders by June, and since then we have served hundreds of customers. We've established a number of strategic partnerships that enable us to fulfill batch orders, and we've achieved sales of more than $31,000. All of this we're doing with myself and Clara, our amazing store clerk, alongside a robust group of advisors and allies, people who have launched and scaled e-commerce and retail food businesses, and who are currently on the front lines getting good food into the hands of people who need it most. Right now, we're nose down scaling the vision, and this year has been a real test of resiliency and acceptance as we tinker and learn. And to be clear, we've learned a lot. First, our assortment. Right now, we offer just north of 130 items, highly relevant categories, but we need more if we're going to be a bigger part of a family's grocery solution. Next, our small format. It works for what we're offering, and indeed it can be a real strength when it comes to our ability to be nimble. It also allows for a much leaner cost structure, taking out overhead upstream in order to realize better margin downstream. And lastly, on funding. Our social enterprise model has enabled us to leverage mission-driven capital as well as angel investments. To date, we've raised $375,000, including a recent grant from Harris County, which is home to Houston. And this, I believe, is where our model is really going to be put to the test. It's also where we're really going to need some help. And I hope that for anyone this speaks to, anyone with experience in food, retail, direct-to-consumer e-commerce, particularly in low-income communities, I hope you'll join us in the breakout room. You see, our goal is not to run one store or even one hub-and-spoke network of stores. No, our goal is to turn all the food deserts in this country into former food deserts. Access disparities persist, and we'll get to those in time, but we started here because we believe in good food for all.
Do food deserts have to exist at all? What a question. And it's awesome to see the way that you all are addressing the issue in your local community in Galveston. Great job, Little Red Box Grocery. Up next, we have Josh Ellers and Patri. Josh has an MBA from the McDonough School of Business, class of 2015. Take it away, Patri.
Hello, Josh Ellers here with Patri. I've spent the better part of 12 years helping tech companies do more business in the public sector, had a great track record within companies like OpenGov, based in San Francisco, also with Qualtrics, based in Utah, in addition to Metalogix during my time in DC. During that time, I did see my fair share of challenges. Paramount there were the time and money losses my teams, and myself included, were costing our companies because of poor opportunity qualification. In fact, globally, that's a $200 billion annual problem. And the reason this happens is because there are poor analytics, poor data out there to help qualify opportunities. That's where we enter. Patri was built to help companies qualify with data and win more business. We've gone to market with a SaaS solution called BidScore to make that happen, get that data in our users' hands, and allow them to win more. Currently, we provide the ability for fit estimates, strength and weakness identification, in addition to profitability metrics. In essence, we are helping companies improve their revenue potential through better qualification. As you can see here, we provide a number of solutions within BidScore to make that happen. We provide opportunity fit estimates, the ability to prioritize opportunities based on their bid score, which essentially is a fit score for a company. In addition to that, we allow companies to dig into any opportunity and see profitability metrics, estimated delivery costs, and collaborate with their other users. We can do this for free as a top of funnel exercise, and to date, we have already helped qualify over $38 billion in opportunities, saving our companies over $18 million. These companies include GTechna, OpenGov, and Apogee. GTechna, for example, have saved over $2.4 million to date, leveraging BidScore. OpenGov, $90,000. And in addition to that, we've also helped Apogee, a company we've had for 4 months as a customer, save just over $19,000 leveraging BidScore. We have a $20 billion addressable market being driven largely by sales, capture, and proposal professionals within regulated industries globally, including GovTech, supply chain manufacturing, construction, and legal. We are projecting to close $240,000 in ARR this year, and by 2025, $17 million in ARR. Our team consists of technical, marketing, and data science experts. We will be hiring sales and CS with this fundraise, in addition to front-end, back-end, and AI developers to continue innovating. Right now, we are raising $1.5 million. If you're interested, here's my contact info. Jump into the breakout room. Look forward to talking with you. Thank you so much.
Is there a company out there that doesn't want more wins? I think that our companies want more wins. So great job, Patri. Next up, we have the DC grown Pratt Standard. Tori Pratt, the founder of Pratt Standard, is a 2011 graduate of the School of Foreign Service. Let's take a look at what Pratt Standard is all about.
Hi, I'm Tori Pratt, founder of Pratt Standard Cocktail Company. We're a fast-growing craft cocktail ingredient company that has proven product market fit and is seeking investment to help us scale quickly and capture market share. I grew up around the food industry. My mom was a caterer, and she and my dad started a smoked seafood business together when I was little. When I was small, my mom would give me a spoonful of mystery food, and if I could guess all the ingredients in it, I'd get $5. My Georgetown entrance essay was about how food can serve to connect people across cultures, and I still believe that every day. In 2014, I tried a local gin from Green Hat Gin, and I put commercial tonic water on top of it, and it ruined it. So I launched Pratt Standard. Since then, we've released 11 different craft cocktail syrups, all inspired by pre-prohibition recipes. Our seasonal syrups were released in 2019, along with a co-branded bar program with Whole Foods across the Mid-Atlantic region. In 2020, we launched our old-fashioned syrup, which is quickly becoming our top SKU. The thing is, the pandemic has proven our product market fit. Last year, the mixers market in the United States grew 28%. The premium mixers market is poised to triple in size and be a $500 million market in the United States alone by 2027. We're an omni-channel business that sells on our website, Amazon, and retail through distilleries, premium grocers, and home goods stores like Williams-Sonoma, Whole Foods, and bars and restaurants like Ted's Bulletin and the new sportsbook at Capital One Arena. Last year, we almost tripled our revenue and sold $750,000 worth of craft cocktail syrups. And outside of our Amazon business, we're managing solid contribution margins of about 40%. Now, the two most exciting areas of growth are our website sales and our cocktail classes. So let me tell you a little bit more about our traction in those areas. We grew our website revenue last year by 21 times. We went from $5,000 in revenue to $105,000 in revenue on our website last year. And we're continuing to grow. We've done $8,000 on our website just in the last 7 days. We're managing great margins on this business without negotiated shipping rates. And with just our nascent ad strategy, for every dollar we put into ad spend, we make $5 in revenue. And we're converting at twice industry standard. In a time when connecting with others is so hard, we've been lucky enough to provide our customers with a way to connect virtually over cocktail classes. And we've taught over 15,000 home bartenders how to make cocktails. We now teach repeat classes for some of the biggest companies in the United States. And we make a 30% margin on this part of our business, which leads to super customer acquisition. We're literally paid to sample our products and to teach people how to use them. Now, we found our competitive advantage in this. We provide both the ingredients and the education to help home cocktail enthusiasts make high quality cocktails. The world's about to reopen. 1 billion people are waiting to create new memories with friends, family, and loved ones, many over a cocktail. We have an opportunity to help people reconnect. We're raising $500,000 for 18 months runway to invest in digital marketing, sales, PR, and automating the education side of our business so it can scale. We launched this round just a week ago, and we already have $100,000 soft circled. With this investment, we expect to hit revenues of $9 million by 2023 in an industry with 3 to 5x revenue multiples for acquisition. If you want to learn more about how we're changing the world of home cocktailing, just book a complimentary class with me, and we'll show you our magic. Drop into our breakout room and learn more.
So Tori, graduate student here, stuck at home during COVID. I might just be signing up for one of those complimentary classes. Awesome job, Pratt Standard. Next, we have Promotable. Promotable is headquarters in Chicago and is led by Aaron Felus, co-founder and CEO. Aaron completed his studies in 2015 at the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences. Let's take a look and see what Promotable is all about.
Hi, I'm Aaron Felus, founder of Promotable, enabling tomorrow's talent today. I've spent the last 5 years in the edtech space as an early employee at high-growth edtech companies like App Academy and Product School, 2 of the largest and most respected tech training boot camps, and more recently founded Promotable. Since founding Promotable, we've generated over $170,000 in revenue. We're selected as the only data science education partner by 1871, the world's largest startup incubator. And I'm excited to say that this fall, we'll also be piloting our first university partnership with the objective of district-wide rollout to a student base of over 80,000. In a nutshell, I know how critical data science is to the future of work and what it takes to teach data science and analytics. Through the process of serving students, I've realized there's a much bigger opportunity. There is a need, not just to teach data science, but to provide day-to-day data science support to a wide range of people in a variety of job functions. Technology is outpacing learning. This is rendering skills and employees obsolete faster than ever, hampering growth and increasing the cost of talent. In fact, when we look at the current state of talent today, we see that all technical professionals have to redevelop their skills every 12 to 16 months just to stay relevant. 87% of tech executives cite the challenge of finding skilled tech talent, while 64% of managers don't think their employees will be able to keep pace with future skill needs. Promotable solves the problem through just-in-time upskilling with a data science help desk platform supported by educational training, certification, and expert network. Think Stack Overflow plus Coursera with an expert network. The training is informed by the help desk, ensuring that companies always have the most relevant content to continuously close the evolving skill gap in an accessible way so that learning is embedded in workflow rather than a one-off. There are 3 types of competitors. First, there are free options like YouTube, which can be unreliable and lack credibility. Second, classroom options like General Assembly are often generic, expensive, and unscalable. And lastly, our closest competitors are DataCamp and Pluralsight. But these are unable to bridge the gap between learning and real-world application and lack feedback loops to ensure the platform has relevant cutting-edge skills teams need. The market is highly fragmented, and there is no large competitor that can easily forward integrate into this space. It's clear these are not getting the job done. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a skill gap. That's where the opportunity lies. Corporate e-learning and data science are an expanding part of the $330 billion corporate learning market. The ecosystem of community, support desk, and learning content will create opportunities to become embedded in an employee's workflow like Excel or Tableau, but have the added benefit of upskilling, thus improving productivity. We estimate the annual revenue potential at over $295 per user. After initial investment in content and platform, we expect costs to drop significantly as we scale. I'm actively developing and launching the help desk, through which we will leverage expert users in a freemium model to gain critical mass from which to upsell paid services and build internal champions within potential B2B customers. The team includes myself and a network of advisors for strategy, technology, and marketing. I'm looking for up to 2 companies to partner with to iteratively validate the product. And I'm seeking a seed round of $250,000. Our workforce needs tomorrow's talent today to stay competitive. Please join me in making every employee promotable.
Okay, Promotable. I mean, I wish I had known about you all before I decided to come to business school, but I guess I've had a pretty good time here at Georgetown. And I hope that everyone in the audience has been having a really great time getting to know our Hoya entrepreneurs today. Our last pitch, but certainly not least, is VFC Inc., led by Gaetano, who holds an MBA from McDonough School of Business, class of 2011. Get ready to hear about what VFC has to offer.
Who has time to cook? No one who works from home. Kids? Forget about it. Wouldn't you like to be able to order delicious, top quality restaurant meal at an affordable price? I would too. And so would hundreds of millions of Latin Americans living in one of 47 cities with more than 1 million people. Hi, I'm Gaetano, the founder of VFC. And my inspiration for starting this business came when Pizzarte, the restaurant I'd started a decade earlier, almost went bankrupt in 2020. Luckily for us, we devoted a significant portion of our efforts to delivery and focusing on that. So it was a small but yet very significant portion of our business, and the business didn't go under. However, not a lot of businesses in Latin America were so lucky. But what is VFC? VFC is LATAM's best-in-class delivery experience, delivered. Why LATAM? Well, LATAM's market for prepared food delivery is actually bigger than the United States'. It was a $30 billion market in 2019 and estimated to be a $45 to $50 billion market in 2020. It's a highly fragmented market. Now, what does that mean? That means that the top 10 chains in the US have a 25% market share, where in LATAM they only have 5. So there's a lot of accessibility to that market, and it'll allow us to enter without too much resistance from the big players. Loyalty is to the restaurants and not to the delivery platforms, which means that the loyalty will be to us rather than to Rappi or to Uber Eats, who have the direct consumer relationship. Initially, we're going to start delivering through the platforms, and as we develop our business, we're going to have our own channels. What problem are we solving? You can get a great restaurant meal in Bogota, but it'll cost you an arm and a leg. Or you can get an affordable meal, but the quality standards might not be what you're expecting. So we want to be somewhere in between. VFC is a platform that incubates and launches delivery native restaurant brands in Latin America. Our food is specifically created to go into a box and to be on the back of a motorcycle for the next 20 to 30 minutes before it's eaten. Our branding strategy starts from data. We know from the data of Rappi and iFood that pasta, pizza, and rices are 3 of the top selling categories, and they fit our other criteria, being gross margin and LATAM scalability. LATAM scalability means that they're sellable in Colombia, Mexico, Brazil, and all the other markets we want to enter in. Our focus will be on the food and the product experience itself. And we're gonna launch brands based on data, and we're gonna close them based on data if they're not successful. Our team is filled with people who have experience both in the restaurant space, in the delivery space, and in the tech space. And we're supplemented by a group of superstar advisors, such as the former CEO of McDonald's in the Andean region. Where are we headed? We're headed to 500 kitchens all around Latin America with multiple brands. We're going to start in Colombia, then we're going to go to Mexico and Brazil. We're raising today $750,000 in the form of a SAFE to last us 18 months to really build out the city of Bogota. Thank you so much for your time today, and I hope to speak with you in the breakout rooms.
And with that, I would like to wish a huge congratulations to our inaugural cohort of amazing alumni entrepreneurs. We are so proud of you for all you've accomplished over the last 9 weeks. You did it. And it was really awesome to see it all come together in your pitch videos. We're really excited for our attendees to have the chance to meet you too in the breakout rooms that will be opening in just a moment. We also know that there are so many more alumni entrepreneurs out there that we want to support. So if you're an alumni entrepreneur listening today and you're excited about what we've done with this first accelerator, we are really excited to share that we'll be launching another accelerator in the fall. Please go ahead and submit our quick interest form, and we're excited to share more details with you about the upcoming cohort in the fall of this year. And at this point, our formal programming for Demo Day concludes, but we are really excited to open up the breakout rooms in just a moment. For those of you who aren't familiar with breakout rooms, this is where you'll have the chance to engage directly in a deeper dive with our founders. This is the perfect opportunity to learn more about a company's specific growth plans, potential investment opportunities, or just generally learn more about how to get involved in their startup. And here's a quick rundown of how the breakout rooms will work. We have 12 breakout rooms, 1 for each presenting company. Feel free to move between the breakout rooms to meet as many founders as you'd like until our event concludes at 3 p.m. When we open the rooms in just a moment, you'll see at the bottom of your Zoom application an icon made up of 4 squares. You'll click that icon and you'll be able to see the 12 rooms available for you to join. If you're having any technical difficulties or aren't sure how it works, just hang out here in the main Zoom room and we'll get you all set up. Lastly, I would really just like to thank all of you for coming. A special thank you to our cohort, our partners, mentors, guest speakers, hosts today, and overall community that has supported us throughout the accelerator. There are a lot of people involved that were needed to make this happen, and we truly could not have done it without you. We hope you enjoy meeting the founders, and we can't wait to see you all at our next demo day in the fall. And at this point, I will open up the breakout rooms.